out the case was transferred.
LOD, right? Lawrence. Right. Lawrence.
It was transferred. He's a magistrate judge. He's not a real judge.
According to our listed now thing, it's in front of Judge Jackson.
Gone to Judge Jackson.
Yeah, I was never notified of that. What might happen is by that sign of Judge Davis, and you have to, the parties have to consent, because Judge Davis is just a magistrate.
That's right.
He's not a district. Oh, he's just a magistrate. Yeah. Oh, okay. Who is the real judge name? Carol Jackson. Oh,
Carol Jackson.
C-A-R-O-L-J-A-C-K-S-O-N? Middle initial? E.
E.
So it should be C-E-J. Right. Instead of L-O-D. Bill Fox told us it was L-O-D. Yeah, well, they might have been looking at something. This might have happened very recently. What's the phone number for C-E-J? Actually, I don't have that in front of me. Okay. You have a P number, you can call that, and they would have it. Okay. Okay. So you don't have the case at all? Right. We can sign it randomly reassigned to a district judge. Well, Karen, I just talked to Bill Fox, and I just talked to Mr. Pollard. Okay. All kinds of things that happened that I hadn't been informed of, and I'm talking about case number Delgado versus James Dolan. Can you give me that case number? Yes, it's 4-0-0-754. 754? Yes. C. Jackson. Okay. C-E-J? Yes. I'm waiting for my summons. We need those summons to serve on the defendants. And we need some out. We told who the process server was. And we really need you to sign them. So some clerk to sign them. When you're pro se, the clerk has to sign your summons. Okay. When did you submit them to the court? Oh, a month and a half ago. We sent them to Bill Jackson. Bill Fox or Bill Jackson? We sent them to Bill Fox. And I'm going to back it up to see when you sent them in. Okay. If the date says
So all that really came of that is that I would call her on Friday at 5 o'clock Eastern time and St. Louis time, 4 o'clock. And what it was is that I hadn't filled out a form. Franklin filled out the form that he was going to be the process server. The plaintiff was supposed to sign it. So that was all done and taken care of. So I still need the summons from the United States District Court in St. Louis. Still can't get Timothy Case to fix that glove compartment lid. Still trying on that. Still failing.
I don't hear from
Mr. Gadsden at Texaco.
I sure got a copy of my memorandum that I worked so hard on, and that the board did.
Equal opportunity.
And that the task force did. This is Glendora, 914-949-9495.
Long talk with Jonathan Jaffes, whose aunt died, and he's very sad about that. The next conversation, chat with Glendora, is with Tyrone at Cablevision Harrison, who does such a wonderful job cablecasting the chat with Glendora.
Oh, that's good, Tyrone. Thank you very much. Yeah, but it was so striking. It was such a good picture and such good audio.
You know, before it goes on, I try to make sure it's cut, like I pre-check it before it goes on, and then, you know, the only time I would ever attempt to make something held me up before I got to make the switch, but usually I'm on time for it, and never, you know.
Oh, wonderful. Boy, it was good.
Well, Glendora, I have to go because I'm tied up with
Yeah, of course.
The transmission, I saw a chat with Glendora Tuesday night on channel, whatever they got it on, 71 in New Rochelle, and the transmission was so good. The video was so bright and the audio was so clear. So I called up and commended Tyrone. Folks, this next conversation, chat with Glendora, is a very long one. There is a number that you called. I called the Janet Reno hotline. I wanted to complain about Edgardo Ramos and Joseph Conway and all of the other crooked assistant U.S. attorneys. Goldberger, Michael Goldberger is certainly one of those. And I never was able to get through. And how long has this taken? About 3 years. And they somebody at the 800 number gave me a 718 number and said that's the Inspector General. Call and complain about a U.S. attorney there. So that went on for about 3 years. And you know something? On July 14th, Friday, I reached somebody. And I actually had somebody listen to me. Now, this is a very, very long chat with Glendora. And there's only 19 minutes left on this program. So I'm doing the best I can. I will start it on here. And then it'll have to be finished on another program. So here we go. Let me put it into the audio tape recorder upon which it was made, in which it was made. And the transmission will be clear.
Would you be up? I got it. Okay. I will be up by 9 o'clock. Bye-bye.
That's a handyman who wanted $20 per window. We finally found some.
9:30 or so on July 14th, Friday. Every day on TV we put up that U.S. attorneys lie, steal, and cheat. Excuse me? Oh, you want me to repeat what I said? Okay. Every day on television we put up a bulletin that U.S. attorneys lie, steal, and cheat. Can I help you, ma'am? that answer of yours is non sequitur. Do you television we put up a bulletin that U.S. I hear what you're saying, ma'am. Can I help you with something, or? Well, I think you can help the United States of America, and that you can get better people to be U.S. attorneys, assistant U.S. attorneys. I think you could certainly help the United States of America to get honest and honorable people there. Boy, I'm all for honest and that's good. Hard-working government employees. So believe me. Okay, but I'm talking specifically about U.S. attorneys. If they can't get a conviction through the law and through justice, then they'll do anything to get a conviction. They will lie, they will steal, and they will cheat. Okay, ma'am, do you have a specific complaint you'd like to make? Oh, yes, my complaint is against an assistant U.S. attorney named Edgardo Ramos. Okay, can you hold on for a moment, ma'am? I'll have our duty agent take your information. Duty agent? What's a duty agent? A duty agent is someone who takes complaints from folks during the week. We have agents assigned on a weekly basis, rotating basis, to take... rotating basis? Okay. This 718-553-7520, is it the Janet Reno hotline? This is the Justice Inspector General, Office of Inspector General for the United States Justice Department. Oh, okay. And that's for Justice Eastern District? Or is that, yeah, that must be for the Eastern District, it's 718. Right? Is that so? We'll put the duty agent on, he'll take your complaint. Answer the question. The question is your phone just for the Eastern District? No. Our office covers from Delaware to Maine to Ohio. We'll take any complaint, anything, anywhere in the country, and forward it to the proper office, ma'am. Okay, now what is your name? My name is Chella, C-E-L-L-A. Nice to meet you, Mr. Chella. My name's Glendora. Okay. Mr. Chella, are you located at Cadman Plaza East? No, we're at our office at Kennedy Airport. Oh, then this is something different. I'm going to put you on with Agent Guido Modano. One moment, please. Let me write down his name. Guido is G-U-I-D-O? Yes, ma'am. And Mangano is M-A-N-G-A-N-O? M-O-D-A-N-O. He's our duty agent, sir. M-O-D-A-N-O, Guido, and he's the duty agent. Yes, ma'am. Okay, you want my telephone number? He'll take down all your information, ma'am. All right. And now what becomes of this information? Does it go to Janet Reno? I haven't seen the information yet, ma'am. Agent Modano will reduce whatever you have to writing, and he'll submit it to me, and we'll see what the best thing for us to do with it is, whether we look at it or send it to another investigative body. Do you think anything will come of it? Ma'am, you haven't given us any information yet. No, I gave you a lot of information. You said they should hire honest U.S. attorneys. And I gave you the name of the one who's so bad. Well, Agent Modano's going to take down all the information, and we'll see what we can do for you, ma'am. All right, now, we do take our job very seriously, and we want to do the right thing. And well, you could have taken... things you said with your opening line, hey, I'm all for all government employees being honest and above board. That's our job, and we're supposed to okay, but that. Well, I'll tell you, this has gone on for years, so I don't think much has been done about it. Okay, I'll put Agent Modano on if you'll just hold on for a moment. Okay,
And I've been complaining about it ever since 1997.
Okay, hold on, ma'am, please.
Yep.
Thank you.
Isn't this interesting, Franklin?
Yeah.
What time is this? It's 9:59 a.m., July 14, Friday, 2000, Anno Domini. I'm going to turn off the recorder.
Hello?
Hello, Guido.
Yes.
Guido Mondano.
Yes.
Mudano.
Modell.
M.O. How are you?
How are you?
My name's Glendora.
Okay, I actually tried to call you. You left a message on the machine here.
Oh, I did?
Yes.
Okay, when was that, Guido?
I believe on Monday.
Oh, okay.
Something about the U.S. Attorney's Office?
Yes.
An assault?
Yes. That's the assault one. Yeah, okay. This morning is a complaint about assistant U.S. attorneys. Guido, what number did you call? 914-949-9495?
I believe the number that you left on the machine. I don't know what it is.
Okay, that's fine. And you didn't leave a message?
No, I tried to call numerous times, and I figured you were going to call back because they,
I see. You didn't leave a message on the recorder.
No.
That's okay. All right. So my complaint is that assistant U.S. attorneys,
Okay.
I've had experience with a good number of them, at least 20,
Okay.
and I've found them all to lie, steal, and cheat. If they cannot get a conviction, which it seems to be what their whole raison d'etre is, if they can't get a conviction by the law and by justice, they will do anything to stoop, to lie, to steal, and to cheat. And I think that you should have honorable people and honest people acting, and moral people and ethical people, somebody who's an example to the youth, acting as U.S. attorneys. I don't think they should be a bunch of crooks. And I've said this on television practically every day of my life.
Okay, do you have any specific AUSAs that you...
Oh, yeah, there's a specific one. Well, several of them, but but I'll give you the one who's the most blatant offender, and that's Edgardo Ramos, and he's stationed at Garden City. And another one over there who's I know to a bride, and I have this on recording, is Joseph Conley.
How do you spell that?
Conley. C-O-N-L-E-Y? Conway. No, it's Conway. C-O-N-W-A-Y.
Okay.
And he is the head of the unit over in Garden City, and that's at 825 Eastgate Boulevard. That would be Garden City 11530. Okay, that is my complaint. That complaint. Edgardo Ramos.
And is this whole Eastern District?
Oh, no. I have found them in the Southern District in Manhattan, and I have found them in the Southern District White Plains.
Okay, so also Southern District.
Mm-hmm. White Plains and Manhattan.
Okay.
Mr. Modano?
Yes.
Modano, excuse me, I mispronounced your name. What was I going to tell you? I was going to ask you something.
Have you had much interaction with the U.S. Attorney's Office?
Oh, yes. Yes.
To what capacity?
Okay, the first one was when I sued Mary Jo White, I guess. And her predecessor. First I sued her predecessor, and then she took over. And then she had a assistant U.S. attorney defender. Sorry it won't all go in this program. It has to go in the next one. Pretty interesting, isn't it? Mr. South?
Fine, how are you doing?
Fine, how are you? You got an inspiration?
Yeah, I'm gonna run out and do that. Yeah, you know what? Try to get the, you know, what they say.
Now, folks, this is a chat with Glendora. It's an audio tape. And it's the Inspector General's office of the Department. And these are the people to whom you complain of crooked, unethical, dishonest.
Life. Okay, do you have any specific AUSA that you... Oh, yeah, there's a specific one. Well, several of them, but but I'll give you the one who's the most blatant offender, and that's... And that you can get better people to be... Well, that's good, Tyrone.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, but it was so striking. It was such a good picture and such good audio.
Yeah, before it goes on, I try to make sure it cuts like I pre-check it before it goes on, and then, you know, the only time I would ever attempt to make something held me up before I got to make the switch, but usually I'm on time for it and never, you know.
Oh, wonderful. Boy, it was good.
Uncle Glendora, I have to go because I'm tied up with
Yeah, of course.
The transmission, I saw a chat with Glendora Tuesday night on channel, whatever they got it on, 71 in New Rochelle, and the transmission was so good. The video was so bright and the audio was so clear. So I called up and commended Tyrone. Folks, this next conversation, Chat with Glendora, is a very long one. There is a number that you called. I called the Janet Reno hotline. I wanted to complain about Edgardo Ramos and Joseph Conway and all of the other crooked assistant U.S. attorneys Goldberger. Michael Goldberger is certainly one of those. And I never was able to get through. And how long has this taken? About 3 years. And somebody at the 800 number gave me a 718 number and said, that's the Inspector General. Call and complain about a U.S. attorney there. So that went on for about 3 years. And you know something? On July 14th, Friday, I reached somebody. And I actually had somebody listen to me. Now, this is a very, very long chat with Glendora. And there's only 19 minutes left on this program. So I'm doing the best I can. I will start it on here. And then it'll have to be finished on another program. So here we go. Let me put it into the audio tape recorder upon which it was made, in which it was made. And the transmission will be clear.
Would you be up?
I doubt it.
Oh, okay.
I would be up by 9 o'clock.
Bye-bye.
That's a handyman who wanted $20 per window. We finally found some.
9:30 or so on July 14th, Friday. Every day on TV we put up that U.S. attorneys lie, steal, and cheat.
Excuse me?
Oh, you want me to repeat what I said? Okay. Every day on television we put up a bulletin that U.S. attorneys lie, steal, and cheat.
Can I help you, ma'am?
that answer of yours is non sequitur. Do you understand what I'm saying? On television we put up a bulletin that U.S.
I hear what you're saying, ma'am. Can I help you with something, or?
Well, I think you can help the United States of America, and that you can get better people to be U.S. attorneys, assistant U.S. attorneys. I think you could certainly help the United States of America to get honest and honorable people there.
Boy, I'm all for honest and
That's good.
hard-working government employees. Believe me.
Okay, but I'm talking specifically about U.S. attorneys. If they can't get a conviction through the law and through justice, then they'll do anything to get a conviction. They will lie, they will steal, and they will cheat.
Okay, ma'am, do you have a specific complaint you'd like to make?
Oh yes, my complaint is against an assistant U.S. attorney named Edgardo Ramos.
Okay, can you hold on for a moment, ma'am? I'll have our duty agent take your information.
Duty agent? What's a duty agent?
A duty agent is someone who takes clients from folks during the week. We have agents assigned on a weekly basis, rotating basis, to take...
rotating basis? Okay. This 718-553-7520, is it the Janet Reno hotline?
This is the Justice Inspector General, Office of Inspector General for the United States Justice Department.
Oh, okay. And that's for Justice Eastern District? Or is that, yeah, that must be for the Eastern District, it's 718. Right? Is that so?
We'll put the duty agent on. He'll take your complaint.
Answer the question. The question is your phone just for the Eastern District?
No, our office covers from Delaware to Maine to Ohio. We'll take any complaint, anything, anywhere in the country, and forward it to the proper office, ma'am.
Okay, now what is your name?
My name is Chella, C-E-L-L-A.
Nice to meet you, Mr. Chella. My name's Glendora.
Okay.
Mr. Chella, are you located at Cadman Plaza East?
No, we're at our office at Kennedy Airport.
Oh, then this is something different.
I'm going to put you on with Agent Guido Modano.
One more, please. Let me write down his name. Guido is G-U-I-D-O?
Yes, ma'am.
And Mangano is M-A-N-G-A-N-O?
M-O-D-A-N-O. He's our duty agent, sir.
M-O-D-A-N-O, Guido, and he's the duty agent.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, you want my telephone number?
He'll take down all your information, ma'am.
All right. And now what becomes of this information? Does it go to Janet Reno?
I haven't seen the information yet, ma'am. Agent Modano will reduce whatever you have to writing, and he'll submit it to me, and we'll see what the best thing for us to do with it is, whether we look at it or send it to another investigative body.
Do you think anything will come of it?
Ma'am, you haven't given us any information yet.
No, I gave you a lot of information.
You said they should hire honest U.S. attorneys.
And I gave you the name of the one who's so bad.
Well, Agent Modano's going to take down all the information, and we'll see what we can do for you, ma'am.
All right, now,
We did take our job very seriously, and we want to do the right thing. And
well, you couldn't take
things
it.
you said with your opening line, hey,
time is this? It's 9:59 a.m., July 14, Friday, 2000. Anno Domini. I'm going to turn off the recorder.
Hello?
Hello, Guido.
Yes.
Guido Mondano.
Yes.
Mudano.
Modano.
M.O.
Yes.
How are you?
How are you?
My name's Glendora.
Okay, I actually tried to call you. You left a message on the machine here.
Oh, I did?
Yes.
Okay, when was that, Guido?
I believe on Monday.
Oh, okay.
Something about the U.S. Attorney's Office.
Yes.
An assault.
Yes. Oh, that's the assault one. Yeah, okay. This morning is a complaint about assistant U.S. attorneys. Guido, what number did you call? 914-949-9495?
I believe the number that you left on the machine. I don't know what it is.
Okay, that's fine. And you didn't leave a message?
No, I tried to call numerous times, and I figured you were going to call back because they,
I see. You didn't leave a message on the recorder.
No.
That's okay. All right. So, my complaint is that assistant U.S. attorneys,
Okay.
I've had experience with a good number of them, at least 20, and I've found them all to lie, steal, and cheat. If they cannot get a conviction, which it seems to be what their whole raison d'etre is, if they can get a conviction by the law and by justice, they will do anything to stoop, to lie, to steal, and to cheat. And I think that you should have honorable people and honest people acting, and moral people and ethical people, somebody who's an example to the youth, acting as U.S. attorneys. I don't think they should be a bunch of crooks. And I've said this on television practically every day of my life.
Okay, do you have any specific AUSAs that you...
Oh, yeah, there's a specific one. Well, several of them, but but I'll give you the one who's the most blatant offender, and that's Edgardo Ramos, and he's stationed at Garden City. And another one over there who's I know to have lied, and I have this on recording, is Joseph Conley.
How do you spell that?
Conley. C-O-N-L-E-Y? Conway. No, it's Conway. C-O-N-W-A-Y.
Okay.
And he is the head of the unit over in Garden City, and that's at 825 Eastgate Boulevard. That would be Garden City 11530. Okay, that is my complaint. That complaint. Edgardo Ramos.
And is this all Eastern District?
Oh, no. I have found them in the Southern District in Manhattan, and I have found them in the Southern District White Plains.
Okay, so also Southern District.
Mm-hmm. White Plains and Manhattan.
Okay.
Mr. Mogano?
Yes.
Modano, excuse me, I mispronounced your name. What was I going to tell you? I was going to ask you something.
Have you had much interaction with the U.S. Attorney's Office?
Oh, yes. Yes.
To what capacity?
Okay, the first one was when I sued Mary Jo White, I guess. And her predecessor. First I sued her predecessor, and then she took over. And then she had a assistant U.S. attorney defender.
Sorry, it won't all go in this program. It has to go in the next one. Pretty interesting, isn't it? Traitors to the USA, assistant U.S. attorneys. So I have plenty to complain about. And this conversation is continued from another program. Program number 2752, and this is program number 2753. So this is the last 20 minutes of a conversation. Even at that, it's interesting.
In the lawsuit that I brought. And,
Back it up.
oh, yes. Yes.
To what capacity?
Okay, the first one was when I sued Mary Jo White, I guess. And her predecessor. First I sued her predecessor, and then she took over. And then she had a assistant U.S. attorney defend her in the lawsuit that I brought. And it was Novinsky. Her name was Novinsky.
How do you spell it?
Well, I'm guessing now because you see this goes back to 1996 or so. Novinsky. N-O. N is in nice. O. V is in victory. I. N nice. S. K. I guess. I'd have to really go back in the file and look that up. That was the first encounter.
You had sued Miss Novinsky?
Yeah. No, I had sued Mary Jo White's predecessor.
Okay, and what did you sue her for?
Well, this will have to be told chronologically. I had 8 years ago a lawn sprinkler man in Long Island bought some ads to go on TV for me, and I went out and I videotaped the footage for his commercial, and I came and I edited his commercial, and I ordered his airtime on WCBS TV Channel 2, and then his checks bounced. So I went after him, and I went after him for 8 years, and he finally tried to elude me by going to the bankruptcy court in the Eastern District. That would be in Westbury. And so I got him there. Finally, I got 85 cents on the dollar, which is unheard of, really. And then during that time, the bankruptcy judge there, named Hall, Robert Hall, wasn't doing his job. The U.S. trustee wasn't doing his job. And so, and the U.S. attorney in the Eastern District promised me at the time, his name was, what was it, Maloney or Mahoney? Anyway, he promised me at the time that he would do a criminal investigation of the defendants. And he never did it. So, and they took so long, and they weren't accomplishing anything, and they were not giving answers, they were dodging, and they were eschewing everything, and I just got so angry at them, that I sued a whole bunch of them. The judge, the U.S. trustee, the U.S. attorney, and I've forgotten why I sued the U.S. attorney in the Southern District, but I just sued a whole bunch of them. That was the case. It was called Glendora versus, I can't remember who the lead defendant was, because I'd have to go back on the file on that. It's thousands of pages. So that's how it all started. Ms. Novinsky was defending Mary Jo White and all the other defendants who were, I know, the guy who was the head of the judges on Clinton Street, the U.S. Bankruptcy Court in Brooklyn. He was also sued. And I think he was the lead defendant. Franklin, can you remember his name? Excuse me? Okay. So that's how I knew the first one, and I was just appalled at the total lack of ethics and morality of Novinsky.
Okay. So your first complaint then is approximately against at least 20 AUSAs that work for the U.S. Attorney offices within the Eastern and Southern Districts of New York.
Yeah, I would say I've had experience with about 20 of them, all this way, always as a plaintiff. And then Edgardo Ramos, of course, is special because I don't know if you want to hear that story. It's a very long story. It was the first telephone call. We were beat up by Pinkerton at Uniondale.
Yeah, let me get the information on that. Well, when did this occur now?
That occurred on February the 17th, 1997.
Okay.
Maybe February the 18th.
And when did this occur now?
At the Uniondale Courthouse, 2 Uniondale Avenue, Uniondale.
Okay.
The federal courthouse, of all places. And he inflicted 6 bruises on me. And then he turned around and socked my elderly husband, 78 years old, in the jaw. And knocked him on the floor. And he dropped me, first of all. He had a hold of me, and he dropped me to turn around and swing at him. And we both ended up on the floor. Then, after doing the dastardly thing, naturally, he lied and said that he never did such a thing. That was one lie. And 2, that we assaulted him. Well, that's not so. We took the assault on us like Quakers. We didn't resist, and he just lied all the way through the court. He's been fired, of course.
And what is this individual's name?
His name is H. Mild Worm. Isn't that some name? Mild Worm. Just as this.
Is it M-I-L-D?
W-O-R-M.
Yeah, that is some name.
And he either lives in Suffolk or Nassau.
And he was an employee of Pinkerton?
Yeah, he was the Pinkerton. You know how the U.S. Marshals contract security guards. And at that time, Pinkerton had the contract. I take full credit that they lost the contract, and I take full credit that he eventually was fired in disgrace. And then the contract was taken over by ACOL. Have you ever heard of ACOL?
No, I haven't.
It's a security company, and it's located out in Nevada someplace. And they have the contract now.
Okay.
And they fired him. He was fired from... They put him out of the Eastern District and put him down in the Southern District, Manhattan, I believe. And from there, he was fired.
And what was the reason for the assault?
Oh, okay. We came into the courthouse, and we went through security, and the man who was right at our side all the time, talking all the time, was Sullivan, Raymond Sullivan. He was sort of the supervisor. And we put all of our metal out of our pockets, and that included audio tape recorder. And it left my hands at that point, and I never touched it again. And then I was waiting around for clearance. I could have gone right in, I guess. I wanted to go see the clerk because we had filed a couple of lawsuits there. And I wanted to go see the clerk's office to see the status of those things. We could have gone in, but I waited and I waited for clearance, and nobody talked to me. And then Mild Worm sneaks up behind me and grabs me underneath the arms and inflicts huge bruises. And then he took my right arm, and there were 4 fingerprint bruises from that, and he twisted that up my back. And Franklin, why don't you tell what went through your mind? This is my husband Franklin, spelled with a Y.
Hello.
This is Mr. Guido Modano.
Hi, Mr. Modano.
How are you?
Fine, thank you. When Mild came over and took hold of my wife, of course I didn't know what he might be going to do, so I sort of spread my arms and tried to step between them.
Okay.
And that was when he turned his attention on me and immediately swung and hit me in the jaw, knocked me down.
So the same individual, Mild Worm, swung and hit you in the jaw?
That's right.
Now, Mild Worm is 50 pounds, excuse me, he's 50 years old. He's about 250 pounds, right, Franklin? Wasn't that what it was?
Over 200.
And Franklin is a mere 140 at that time.
Was there anyone else around when this took place?
Oh, yes. I don't know whether Sullivan had left or not, but there were other security officers, so-called, and their names were McHale and McHale, John McHale, and you know the other McHale's name? And you know the other McHale's name? John and something.
Was Sullivan, was he the supervisor of Pinkerton?
Well, sure, they all work for Pinkerton.
Right, so Sullivan was the supervisor?
Yeah, they are not U.S. employees, no. They're contracts.
Right.
They're cops for hire is really what they are. But most of them are former New York City cops.
Right.
But there was McHale and Sullivan, and another fellow that they would never tell me his name. And
Did any of these other fellows assist when this assault took place?
assist.
Did they try to stop Mild?
Did they try to stop Mild? Well, that's a different question. Well, let me deal with that one first. Did they try to stop? I saw twice before Mild Worm got us. I saw him twice being restrained by the other officers. And we have an audio tape. So somebody turned on the audio tape player right after the assault. And on that you hear Mild Worm screaming, and you hear the other officers say, "Come over here, don't you go over there again." calm down, Kenny. We have that on audio tape. And we don't know who turned that on, but I'm certainly glad somebody did. And, let's see, all right, so that's to answer your question, did the other officers try? Yes, I believe they did. But I believe that he slipped by them on the third attempt and made it. The man really went off his rocker. I think that's the only explanation you can give. He just went berserk.
Had you had any previous problems with this individual named Maldor?
No, we had never met him, but Joseph Derby over at the bankruptcy court in Westbury, another Pinkerton in security over there, a former New York policeman, he took away my recorder that I wanted to play for the judge. And I assured Mr. Derby I wasn't going to record anything, but I had to have a playback because I needed evidence against this bankrupt Scott Lord. I wanted to play it for the judge. Well, at the time it came for me to play it to the judge, Derby would not produce my recorder. So I never had the opportunity to present my evidence. So when I made this suit against the all those people in the bankruptcy court, I included Derby for violation of my civil rights and not giving me my tape recorder to play. And so there was talk that Derby had talked to Maldor about this and that they were friends, and that Sullivan had talked because he was supervisor also of Westbury. There was a mention of that. I know nothing about that. I have no personal knowledge about that, but somebody did mention that they knew that Derby had been sued. So I thought, well, here we have a motivation, retaliation. I thought that's what we had. But the more that I think about it, he just went crazy.
Okay, at the time of the assault, did any marshals come out? Or
Yeah, in and out of all of this was Patrick, who was the deputy marshal there.
Okay.
And I had appealed to him before the assault. I had appealed to him that I was being badly treated. And his answer was, what do you want me to do, take you down and put you in a cell and lock you up? And so we were appalled at that. And then Patrick Quinn says that he was around, but it's all very vague and this really isn't convincing that Patrick Quinn is telling the truth. Well, we know he's not telling the truth because he said things that we had personal knowledge of that were not true.
Okay, and he works at the courthouse also?
Yes, he did. I should assume he still does. He was the deputy marshal, U.S. Marshal.
Did any police officers get summoned?
Well, yes, the police came. As we were walking out of the building, there was a police car, and it was a Nassau County police car. And I was I was not feeling well, and I was hurting, and I also had a commitment at Cable in Hicksville at 10 o'clock to do my editing of my TV show. And editing time, once lost, cannot be recouped, and the show had to go on, and so I did not stop and talk to the police officer. So we went on to Hicksville, and I continued my work there. I had to. But as soon as we could, Franklin and I went to Nassau County First Precinct, the one near Freeport. I've forgotten what town it's in exactly.
Is that the first precinct?
That's the first precinct. It's the one that's the farthest east.
Okay.
It's down near Freeport or whatever.
Okay.
And we placed a double criminal assault charge. And we showed them the bruises, and they winced. They really did wince. And they took a picture of it. And then Franklin, they said it would not be an assault charge on him because he just had a soft tissue injury on his jaw, and nothing really showed. So they said that was a harassment, I believe, is what they said.
And so they put Detective Ray on that job. And we never heard from Detective Ray. And in the meantime, the whole FBI, U.S. Attorney, U.S. Marshal, and gangsterhood started to churn. Mild Worm said he didn't do it. They all said he didn't do it. They all said that we attacked them. And then they started a bunch of useless investigations and paperwork, and the U.S. Attorney charged us with assault. And I think it was criminal 18 U.S. Code, I've forgotten, assault on a federal officer. Well,
So the U.S. Attorney in...
yeah, that would be Edgardo Ramos.
So Edgardo Ramos then charged you guys,
Yeah,
prosecuted you for assault on a federal officer.
that's right. However, I left out a big chunk of that. Kwiatkowski, who is a special agent, so-called, whatever that means, located in Melville, Kwiatkowski talked to us on the phone, assured us that he definitely was going to help us with our charges against Mildworm. So we were very encouraged by that. And
FBI agent?
yeah, special, and they call him a special FBI agent. Yes, that's what he's called, a special FBI. Kwiatkowski is Kwatowski, Thomas. And he assured us of that, and we were very pleased and encouraged. And he asked us to come and see him in Uniondale. In Uniondale.
Okay.
Courthouse.
Right.
And guess what? We got down there, and we were pleasantly greeted and pleasantly greeted him. And he said, I want to take you to the special side door. Takes us down to the side door. The door slams, and he says, you're under arrest. USA versus Buell. B-boy, U-E-L-L.
What was that again?
B-boy,
Right.
U-E-L-L.
Is that your last name?
Yep.
Okay. Okay, so Special Agent Kwiatkowski asked you guys to come down to the
Yeah.
federal courthouse?
Yes.
So you on the side door and arrested the both of you?
Yes, it was a subterfuge, yes. Yes, arrested both of us. Oh, he had somebody else arrest Franklin. He had an FBI agent named what, Franklin? What was his name? Okay, we just have to get off. And when did this happen? On March 6th, 1997.
That's when you were arrested?
Yes. What was his name, Franklin? Okay. All right. So that was it was an ambush.
Okay.
And ambush has left America years ago, but they don't seem to know that. And then we were arraigned in that afternoon, falsely arraigned, of course. This whole thing's trumped up.
But do you remember the judge's name?
Yep. And the judge's name is Robert M. Levy. He's a United States magistrate judge. He's not a district judge. And he's in the Eastern District at 225 Cabin Plaza East. And he did two bad things. He violated the Fourth Amendment. Kwiatkowski never swore under oath that he was telling the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth in this complaint of lies that he wrote. It's all lies. He never swore under oath. And then number two, Levy never had a probable cause. And we were arrested in violation of the Fourth Amendment on those two counts. And as we told everybody, there was no need to arrest us. We are court people. We have been brought several lawsuits. We know that if you are called to court, you go to court. There was no need to arrest us. And now, see, I should have told this to you chronologically. You're going to have a terrible time. On the week before the arrest, we filed a lawsuit, Glendora versus Mildworm. McHale, Sullivan, and Quinn, we had filed that. So you see, it's reasonable to assume, as this happened so and we were arrested in violation of the Fourth Amendment on those two counts. And as we told everybody, there was no need to arrest us. We are court people. We have been brought several lawsuits. We know if you are called to court, you go to court. There was no need to arrest us. And now, see, I should have told this to you chronologically. You're going to have a terrible time. On the week before the arrest, we filed a lawsuit, Glendora versus Mildorn. McHale, Sullivan, and Quinn, we had filed that. So you see, it's reasonable to assume, as this happens so often in the United States government abuse, this was a retaliation to make that we did sue them. Two, it was an attempt to intimidate us to drop the civil suit. And we were pressured throughout the whole litigation to drop it, and we absolutely would not drop it. And so that's pretty much the motivation, because they did not arrest us the day of the 18th, the day that this happened. A full week later, let's see, February 18th and March 6th, a full 2 weeks later, right? And so it was the civil lawsuit you can pretty much conclude. Now that's on information and belief. Because they would not give us deferred prosecution. They actually made the mistake of coming out and saying that. The magistrate judge who got the case was Azrack, A-Z-Zebra, R-A-C-K, Joan Emma. She's a United States magistrate judge at the Eastern District, 225 Cadman Plaza East, a former U.S. attorney.
Okay, what did she handle?
The case of USA versus Mildorn, USA versus Buell.
I thought you said it was the other magistrate judge.
No. Let me go back up and don't let me confuse you. Levy happened to be on arraignments that week. That's the way they do it in the Eastern District. They have one magistrate handle the arraignments for a week.
Okay, were you arraigned in
with Levy.
Yeah, but was it Uniondale or did they take you to Brooklyn?
Oh no, it was in Brooklyn. Every judge in Uniondale knew what was going on and recused him or herself. Every judge in Uniondale recused. They knew what was going on. So they dropped it down to Brooklyn. They took us to Brooklyn.
Okay, so if then Levy handled it in Brooklyn, now when?
No, he took the arraignment only.
Okay.
And then it was assigned to Azrack.
Okay.
Yeah, it is confusing. Okay. The whole thing's confusing unless it's told chronologically. Okay. I was telling you about Azrack wanted deferred prosecution. And she asked Ramos, and Ramos says, I think it would be exercise of futility. And Azrack says, no way. She says, I want you to go up to pretrial services and arrange deferred prosecution. So she gave it to the law clerk and Franklin's legal aid lawyer, and I appeared pro se. I absolutely refused to have an attorney. And we wrote a statement of what happened to get...
This is really, you think I'm making a mistake? Trusting those people? That they're going to take a report and do something about crooked U.S. attorneys?
Prosecution.
I
And
think
we
that's
went up
pretty
there,
naive.
and they left Franklin and me out in the hall, and Ramos and Jean Ann Murray, Franklin's legal aid defender, went in to see Bigger, who is now retired, and the other guy, Brennan. And guess what? The U.S. attorney came out, assistant U.S. attorney came out and ran away as fast as he could. He did not want to see us or talk to us. And Franklin's legal defender told Franklin that, will you give up the lawsuit? They get a no deferred prosecution unless you drop the civil lawsuit. So we sued them. That's definitely First Amendment violation. So, okay, I don't know how it ended up. There was a trial on September the 3rd of 1997. They violated a whole lot of things, our 60-day speedy trial rights. They violated house of stuff. I mean, in addition to count of their lives. And that's when the bottom dropped out for any respect for an assistant U.S. attorney.
So Eduardo Ramos has lied 3,999?
Well, he's orchestrated that. No, he's lied about 600 times. But the whole thing, when you count up all of the lies, including the magistrate judges, and including the Parker, Larry Parker, by the way, was the U.S. Marshal for the Eastern District at that time, and he's been made a judge.
Okay, and how many lies have they made?
3,990 to date. 3,990 to date. And they offered, here's one of their offers, plea bargains was, if Glendora will plead guilty, we'll let Franklin go. To that I said outrageous, to that Franklin said ridiculous, and to that his attorney said preposterous. Well, they tried all kinds of things. It was really a terrible, terrible traitorship to the United States of America. And now, want to see what the sentence was?
Okay.
The sentence was postponed numerous times. Finally, on April the 24th, 1998, came the fake sentencing. And I stood up to Azraq and I told him that this whole thing was a hoax, and that there should have been any trial. Never should have been any sentencing. And even though I'm standing before her and can get all kinds of imprisonment and everything else, I would speak the truth as I saw it. And I told her all those things. And then Franklin certainly told the situation as it was. And Franklin cried. And so here was the sentence. $50 special assessment or $25 apiece. Do you remember? $25 apiece special assessment. $2,000 fine apiece. We get $2,000 because we go to a courthouse and get beat up. We have to pay $2,000. Yeah, each of us.
Okay.
Each of us. And 2 years probation. That was the...
Okay, to be continued.
That was the sentencing, fake sentencing.
To be continued, folks. Has to go on to another program. This is really something, isn't it? Keep the courage flaming. Remember, you're the boss. You're the public. Folks, a number of years ago I was given a Janet Reno hotline to complain about the malfeasance and nonfeasance, or in plain vernacular, about the crookedness of assistant U.S. attorneys and anybody else who works for the so-called Department of Justice. And nothing ever happened. I made my complaints and nothing ever happened. Nothing. It was all a cover-up. It was all collusion. And somehow, one time, I was given a 718 number and told that that was the Inspector General, and that was the place to complain about crooked U.S. attorneys like Edgardo Ramos, Goldberger, Lorraine Novinsky, Andrew Maloney. Everyone I met has been a crook. And so I called that number a number of times. And nothing ever happened. No action at all. And so I took the number out. This has gone on for a period of 3 years. And I took the number out the other day and I said, I'm going to call it. My goodness, somebody answered. And somebody actually listened to me. The man who listened to me was a duty agent. Every week they have one man who listens to people. And he listened to me for 10 minutes, and that was on program number 2751. Or was it 2752? And then he listened to me for another 30 minutes, and that's on program 2753. And here we have program 2754, and I don't know how much longer it's going to go, but it is very interesting. And you have to remember that you're the public and you have the power. And if you really exercise that power, you have the last word. So let me play this for you. This happened on July 14, 2000, Anno Domini.
$50 special assessment or 25 apiece. Do you remember? 25 apiece special assessment. $2,000 fine apiece. We get $2,000 because we go to we have to pay $2,000. Each of us. Each of us. So we complied with all those things, and Franklin paid $2,000 right away. I'm only on Social Security. I could not pay that, so I asked Azrac for time payments every month. Who paid so much, and that all got paid. And then about 8 months before the probation would be up, that would be April 24th, 2000. Yeah, 2000. We kept asking for them to stop this nonsense, that it was government waste, it wasn't serving any purpose. Of course we were no threat to society. And so, by George, they pulled out. They zapped the probation.
Okay.
It's gone.
And who was your probation officer?
2 years.
Yeah, but did you have a probation officer assigned?
Oh, yeah, several of them. We went through several of them. First of all, the people in the Eastern District said that they could not do it because we live in Westchester.
Okay.
Okay.
Do you have an address there?
No, I'm not going to give you that. Okay, I'll give you a postal address.
Okay.
Box 416.
Okay.
White Plains, New York, 10602. We lived in Westchester. Well, they couldn't do anything on probation in the Eastern District. We lived in Westchester, so stick around, hang around 2, 3, 4 weeks, and wait till you hear from Westchester. So we had 2 in Westchester. One was Sheridan, who was sort of the supervisor, and Mafucci. Want the spelling? M. Mary, A, double F. Frank, U, Mafucci, C-I. C-C-I. Okay? And then, this is so long and involved. I was going down the street near the courthouse in White Plains, the federal courthouse, the municipal courthouse, and the county courthouse. They're all there in a quadrangle. And I was going down the street, and I saw Judge Bryant's clerk. And I had asked Judge Bryant's clerk and all of them for the address of Judge Bryant's law clerk. You know, law clerks come and go. They're there a year and they're gone. So I asked him for the law clerk's address. And they lied to me that they didn't have it. And of course they have it. They have to send a W-2 form to them, and of course they have it. So I stood up for that I had a right to have that address and that they were lying and misrepresenting to me. And so when I saw Kenny, his law clerk, on the sidewalk, going into the White Plains courthouse, and I said, Kenneth, you know very well that you have that address and that you are lying. And so he went and reported that apparently to Bryant, or somebody. Anyway, they tried to make something about it, that I was having a confrontation with courthouse personnel outside the courthouse. They tried to get me to sign a statement that I would never have another altercation with the, well, first of all, the way they did it, Sheridan and Mafucci and everybody, the way he did it was just strictly a violation of civil rights for from A to Z. And so he kept asking me to sign it, and I said, no, I have to reserve. I listened to him and took notes, and the whole thing lasted an hour and a half. And he wouldn't let Franklin be with me. So I went home and I thought about it, and it's a terrible violation of civil rights. Say nothing on the sidewalk. It deserves and gets the utmost protection. All of those civil rights, it just bothered me so badly that I sued Sheridan and Mafucci in the United States District Court, District of Columbia. And I brought that back to him on Columbus Day when he wanted the answer. And it was in the mail to him in time to get there on the day after Columbus Day. And so soon after that, Sheridan and Mafucci pulled out. They didn't want to be my probation officers anymore. And they assigned me to a nice fellow out in Hauppauge. And his name was Gardella. Right, Franklin? What was his first name? Gardella, anyway. Gardella. Okay, he's out in the Eastern District, in Hauppauge. And he was very nice.
Okay.
And of course, he too could see no purpose in the probation, and it was through Gardella and Ramos and Azrak that the probation was dropped.
Okay. What is a phone number that you can be reached at?
914.
Okay.
949.
Yep.
9495. Now, I have told all of this on television, I've read all of the papers, and put up graphics, and told this whole, exposed this whole racket. That numerous telephone calls and contacts of people who had similar things happen. And so we are vigorously opposing this, that the United States government has fallen into very bad hands. We do not oppose the government, we do not oppose the laws, but we certainly oppose the crooks who are running a civil RICO. It's nothing but a racketeering influence crime organization. That's really all it is. And it's operating in the courts today. And we are out to expose this and correct it and eliminate it. Okay, now what's a duty agent? You're on there for a week?
Actually, today is the last day. Next week will be a new one.
Yeah, and what are you? Are you a U.S. attorney?
No, I'm not a U.S. attorney. No,
Are you FBI?
no, we're special agents of the Department of Justice, Office of the Inspector General.
Office of the Inspector General.
Right, that's where you had called once a message.
Yes. Now this Inspector General, is this the Inspector General for the United States of America? Or is that another one?
So this is for the Department of Justice.
Only for the Department of Justice?
Right.
You're not the one and only. Okay. Okay.
But there's numerous Inspector General offices.
Yeah. Oh, now I understand. Thank you.
And there's also an Office of Professional Responsibility that handles complaints against the FBI and against U.S. attorneys.
Oh, that's good, but that's not you.
No.
I wonder, would you mind telling me the Office of what?
Professional Responsibility?
Oh, yes, that does work for Janet Reno. Right?
Yes.
And that's in Washington, isn't it?
Yes.
Well, you know, I talked to somebody there, and he poo-pooed the whole thing. He did a bad job. And it sounded to me like he was a colluder. I was not impressed by him. It was some Irish name, Mahoney or something. I was not impressed by him. Okay.
I'm going to write this up, and you spoke to my boss, Bill Cella, and he said he would review it, and if there's any additional information, then we have your phone number, and we'll be in contact with you.
Yes, I don't, I'd like to see you watch these guys and see how they operate, and if you're a true American, you will do something about it. If you're part of the gang, it'll just go on, and we won't have to fight it.
Okay, but like my boss had told you in the past, in your previous conversation before I spoke to you, we do the, fraud, waste, and abuse within the Justice Department, and any from this office, we do input into our system, and then a decision will be made as to what action can be taken from it.
Okay. Now, are you going to be my agent on this, our agent on this? You know, it's not going to go into somebody else's hands?
I wouldn't know that. That's something that my supervisor would be able to answer answer, and after his review of the complaint that you had submitted.
Oh, good. How does he spell his last name? C-E-L-L-A?
Right.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, I get an A for that. Okay, I'll tell you today's joke.
Excuse me?
I'll tell you today's joke.
Okay.
Today's joke. Why was the baby shoe crying?
I don't know.
His mother was a sneak and his daddy was a lover.
Oh, that is pretty good.
Okay. All right, how did I do? Did I give you the picture?
Pretty good.
I have files. The files are huge.
Okay.
The Bruiser Ken file is over 22,000 pages.
Okay.
There are files, of course, in the Eastern District, although the case, we appealed it, of course. We appealed the phony conviction, and that right now is in the United States Court of Appeals for the Second Circuit. But I don't know how much you know about the Second Circuit. They loaf practically all summer long. They work 1 week in July and 1 week in August. But we have had our papers, briefs, are submitted. We are waiting for a date for an oral argument.
Okay. We're going to input this complaint, and then, like I said, Bill Cello will be making, conducting his review, and we'll determine what's going to be done with it.
The cello is a musical instrument.
Well, his last name is Cella, C-E-L-L-A.
Oh, okay. That's a female musical instrument.
Right.
Okay, Mr. Lodano.
Yep, and your first name is Glendora, and your last name is B-U-E-L-L.
Yes. And Franklin's is with a Y.
Okay, so it's F-A-R-N-K-L-Y-N.
That's right.
Okay, great.
All right.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Isn't that interesting?
Yeah.
Now, is he going to double-cross us? He can't trust anybody in that group. What? Who is he? What you want to know about him?
How did you get Cello?
Well, see,
What do you think, folks? That was a mistake? Think that was a mistake? Well, you have to do what you can. You have to take it in good faith. Stay tuned. We'll keep you posted on that. Now we'll go to another chat with Glendora on audio tape. Now, there's an organization called the National Association of Television Officers and Advisors. And I've told you about this before.
This is Robin. May I help you? Yes, please, Mr. Anderson.
Who's calling, please?
This is Glendora.
Just a moment.
Thank you. Cabela, if you got my message about... Oh, what? Well, I'm calling from New York.
Okay. What is pertaining?
It's pertaining to Mr. Anderson's going on my cable TV show and discussing the status of public access.
Okay. Hold on 1 second.
Thank you. I'm calling you from the state of New York, county of Westchester, city of White Plains.
How are you doing?
Fine, thank you. Your literature was on the table at the Public Service Commission, New York State Public Service Commission.
Okay.
Had a seminar for franchise renewal for municipalities and
New York or New Jersey?
No, New York.
Okay.
Your literature was on the table, and I got it and read it. And I showed it on TV, some of it. What do you think is the status of public access at the moment?
Well, I need to be more aware of which literature you're talking about. Was it from our agency or from NATOA?
No, it's from the TOA. I don't know who your agency is.
Okay, I'm with the D.C. Government Office of Cable Television and Telecommunications.
Office of Cable Television and Telecommunications.
Yes.
Now is that part of the FCC or?
No, it's part of the D.C. City Government.
Oh, the D.C. City Government.
Yes.
Oh, I got you. Okay.
All right, so...
I'll tell you what literature I have. I have the pamphlet joint NATOA.
Okay.
The silver and blue.
Oh, yeah, you got the good.
Yeah, and I have the litigation and regulation seminar that was on June 15th and 16th.
Right.
And I have the 8.5 by 11 NATOA sheet of etc.
I see. So are you a member city then? Or are you
No. I am a public access producer.
public access for this?
Yes, and I am on 23 cable systems. And the public access producers just won an enormous victory Cablevision, Charles Dolan and James Dolan and Robert Lemley, they put out an atrocious public access kit that had such phrases in it as "in the sole and absolute discretion of Cablevision," and other things like that. And the public access producers all over Long Island, Rock, won that victory over Cablevision.
Oh, yeah. I'm glad for you.
Yes.
How can I help you today?
Well, I want you to speak to myself and my friends and viewers about the status of cable television public access.
Gosh, I don't know that I'm the most appropriate person, but obviously realize I am in Washington. Oh, good. Well, finding a market and what the existing, obviously the existing rules and perspective of your particular cable franchise. I think there are lots of cities that are taking advantage of public access and beginning to see the strength and the availability of having access to the programming. But more importantly, I guess, understanding the depth of the training that public access address. So my question really is, how can I?
Well, of course, we feel a lot stronger here, having made Cablevision back down. In fact, the New York Public Service Commission came down on them hard, too.
The conversation we're having for your program, are you?
Yeah, this is my program.
Okay. Are we recording this for your program? Or?
Yeah.
You let me know. Obviously, NATO supports.
Here.
Right for cities to request franchise.
Local information infrastructures, including public educational and government access channels and institutional networks.
Right.
We don't know what infrastructures are.
Yeah, infrastructures relate more to the actual networks and the systems that are provided in order for public for the services provided to cable facilities and production facilities to get the information from the subscribers.
What are institutional networks?
Institutional networks range widely. Obviously, they're defined in the federal regulations, but my understanding of institutional networks are those networks that provide for local governments as negotiated through the transition process for the purposes of cable, video, voice data, whichever the needs the community determines is appropriate for the use of the cable television infrastructure.
What example? Can you give us an example?
Sure, an example would be anything as simple as a coaxial cable network that joins several city buildings for the purpose of providing a closed-circuit television distribution to an intricate operating network that can provide connectivity to several city or other again, institutional buildings or facilities.
What are they? Institutional type buildings like
It could be at hospitals, it could be police stations or firehouses, it could be local universities or schools. Whatever, again, is
Cable Communications, do you have much contact with the public access in D.C.?
Oh, certainly. We have what I feel is a healthy relationship with public access in D.C. But again, I'd like to know a little more about you, so I can obviously know how to best.
Well, no, we're just interested in getting information on an opinion on public access, its status today.
Sure. If I...
Network in D.C.?
We do not have one
Okay.
in D.C., but and obviously I certainly don't mind commenting on public access, but I'd really like to have you send me something on your organization so I can
Okay.
where can be more.
Do you have much contact in your Office of Cable Communications? Do you have much contact with the public access in D.C.?
Oh, certainly. We have what I feel is a healthy relationship with public access in D.C. But again, I'd like to know a little more about you, so I can obviously know how to.
Well, no, we're just interested in getting information on an opinion on public access, its status today.
Sure. If I gave you my phone, my fax number or address, could you tell me more information about you so I'll know who I'm exactly talking to? I mean, obviously, we certainly want to support any effort that you so be able to track who we're communicating these things to.
Well, you want to know, I'm a public access producer. I have 23 cable systems.
Which public access corporation?
I'm not a corporation. I'm a public access producer.
I understand it. For who, I guess my question would be, which public access channels do you produce for?
What cable systems am I on? Well, I'm on North, and Cablevision has a terrible monopoly here in New York. I have all of Long Island, Rockland County, all of Westchester, Manhattan, Bronx, Queens. Southern
That's 5. All right, now let me tell you, our public access director here in Washington, D.C.,
Yes.
her name is Nance Ritter.
One moment, please.
And
I phone number
202
202
659
659
6260.
6260,
Thanks for the call.
Okay, this is July the 14th, Friday at 3 p.m. And this is our chat with Glendora. Now, do I understand?
You know, Cablevision really has given me, so far as public access goes, everything that I've asked them to. I know I put up a great big fight for getting rid of 3/4 inch video and sending things in on VHS, and they did that. And they certainly designed a wonderful editing system at Lynbrook. And I asked to have my editing for a regular appointment Tuesday morning, since I've been editing there Tuesday morning for 6 years. And to call up for it 52 times a year, to call up for it at midnight is really excessive, so I asked for that regular appointment. And I listened to this. No, it would really help, wouldn't it, if I put a tape in there?
Okay. Yes, please.
Okay.
All righty.
Yes, you're welcome. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Mailbox 1. Friday, 10:56 a.m.
Hi, Glendora. Hi, Francis. Calling Cablevision at 10 Friday, July the 14th. Hope everything is good with you guys. And I'm calling to let you know that Tuesdays are fine in Lynbrook. You can call me on my side list, 393-3644. You can edit on Tuesdays in Lynbrook. I just need you to know that if
Thank you very much.
comes up and for some reason,
that's
somebody else needs to
a
get in
victory.
there,
We're
that,
happy
we're
about
going to have to work with
4:35 p.m.
Hello, this is Kay at Continental Airlines. I'd like to thank you very much for calling. I appreciate you thinking and think your jokes are wonderful. Anyway, nice.
Thinks the jokes are wonderful.
Jokes.
This is
Thank you very much, and
Continental Airlines.
everything's going well, and if we can help again, give us a call. Thanks.
She was very helpful to Franklin when he had to Houston to see his 89-year-old brother, his 86-year-old brother. And I called up about a year and a half later and reminded her how grateful we were.
Well, and if we can help again, give us a call. Thanks.
Where's that? Hey, at Continental Airlines.
38 p.m.
Hello, I was trying to reach Glendora. My name is Libby Beatty, B-E-A-T-Y. I'm with NACOA, N-A-C-O-A, the National Association of Post-Communication Advisors. I wanted to follow up with you on an interview with Sir Darrell Anderson, and if you could call me back on Monday, that would be fine. I can be reached at area code 73-536-375.
This is Jim Lehman in Rockland County, who is an activist, and wants me to call him, and I told him how to get on public access television. Buy yourself a camera. A lot of you already have cameras. You buy yourself a tripod, and you buy yourself a remote microphone. You can see this. And that's it. And then you sit down and you videotape it for 29 minutes, and then you go to the cable company and ask them for help editing it. That means putting on the graphics, the opening and the closing. So he's out after crooked judges too in the state. The next report is public access in Great Neck.
Hi, Shirley and Sandy, it's Glendora.
Shirley Bruno.
And I asked for a special on Hop Hog, and I got it right away, 9:30 p.m. Next week. A special on, and I got that right away. Something has to be done, or we got to think of something. Let me know if I can help you figure out. But you can't ask to have a special of a program that's pertinent to the month of July, played in the month of August. So you have to have more flexibility than that. Thank you. Bye.
I tried to call Tom Geiger to thank him for the editing appointments, and no more calling for appointments. And I kept dialing the wrong number, and the woman was very cheerful. And it turned out to be Mark Shukin's wife. And she tells me that Mark loves his new job, but that he's working from 7 a.m. to 10 p.m. He's living in a corporate apartment. But next week that his wife and 3 children will be going out from Huntington out to Seattle. And so I told her we have a sign up on TV saying we will miss Mark Shukin. That's what this telephone conversation is. Next, a chat with Glendora is to Thomas Hillgardner. Glendora calls Thomas Hillgardner he is the pro bono lawyer on Goldberg versus Cablevision. He's a great public access activist, and he is a lawyer. And so this is what Glendora says to Tom Hillgardner. We put in a different recorder here.
You have reached 718-657-0606, the law office of Thomas J. Hillgardner. No one's here to take your call right now. At the tone, please leave your name and your phone number, and we'll return your call as soon as possible. Thank you very much.
I want to know some public in South Manchester, 1996. When the franchise So I'm wondering if you can do anything about that. We used to have system-wide public access on Channel 8. Only New Rochelle and Pelham agreed to let cable, TCI at the time, cablecast the programs from Mamaroneck, where the headquarters used to be. Rather by saying that they had 3 distinct channels, 14, 15, and educational and government. And they tried to one of those channels to TCI. You don't like to have your telephone answering machine. So, but I'm wondering if you would think about that situation and think about going to bat for it. 160 public access producers have not been seen nor heard. 20 municipalities in Westchester and big ones. Greenberg, Eastchester, Scarsdale, Smith, 914-944-495. notified. Reports are very good.
Okay.
She reversed it. 9:20. Okay, bye-bye. Dean Crescenzi.
Yes.
Good morning, and what is the latest Giuliani?
Well, I would like to give information with respect to my dealings with Mr. Giuliani through
former U.S. attorney?
Information before that, but was a cozy CIA or the Secret Service. Now I know that personally because of the cases that I had with the sensitive, so-called security interest cases that I had before him.
Well,
which involved the IRS and the Army and so forth.
yes, well, I would be inclined of an assistant U.S. attorney.
They're all given a job description to go out and make mayhem. They're given an inventory of people to pick on, and Giuliani's inventory was the so-called went to jail. Nothing one actually made a complaint against Giuliani, and it was never resolved with the when an underworld contractor, and Judge Gable, who was part of the rent control racket in New York City, and he was also a judge on the Supreme Court.
What about Giuliani's withdrawing from the Senate race?
Well, this was all orchestrated. What they did was you see, the people who handled him, first, dynamic to get him out of the way. Secret owners of this country, and the people who control the judiciary, the illegal dimension of the judicial procedure in the federal courts. So they had to give him a way out without giving him an opportunity to successfully way out. Golden parachute, he got wouldn't give up. The other thing, to go hunting for human beings. That's what it's open season on, especially minority human beings in the New York City police jurisdiction. And that's another reason why he doesn't want to stand. He's objecting to outside investigation because they cover up their crimes. Really don't know. They said they have Julio Bias and so forth. All of these people have been murdered by him, and so they may do the same thing with him, or they may just let him go look for a job someplace.
Okay, Gene. Yes, thank you for your report.
Okay.
All right.
Have a good day and a good week. Thank you.
The United States District Court, Detroit, Michigan.
Today from Karen Moore at the United States. I am unable to take your call at the moment. Please, and I'll return your call as soon as possible. Or for further assistance, 7387 on
Playa Glendora, and I am we apologize. PM yesterday. And this was filled with two people washing the windows, and there were many other distractions, and it wasn't until 7 p.m. That I realized my dereliction, and I am sorry. And what is the omnibus motion? The motion for summary judgment. This is page 2 of Glendora to Karen Moore. So I was asking if you would please tell us the status on plaintiff's motion. 914. I guess I'm still cautious. July 14th, year 2000. Excuse me, this is July 15th, year 2000. She had an emergency and she left her two ladies who were kind of and one of the ladies said she's not very R-E-T-T-Y, is she? And the little girl said no, but very S-M-A-R-T.
Mailbox 1, Friday, 10:12 p.m. Hi, Glendora, it's Tim Kelly, and that was a pretty funny joke. Anyway, I'm watching the episode now, and I
July Journal. On that one, there was an article mentioned a couple of times. Meant to call you sooner. Maybe you don't need it now. Maybe you already saw it. So let me know. The number to call me at is 631-957-8094. Let me know if you want me to photocopy it or send you the issue or what. Hope everyone's well.
Foster care problem, about a judge, about to get how he called up the judge, and the judge talked to him on the phone and told Wilbur that the judge could not be on his television show, that it would be bias and prejudice. So I thought that was pretty good that the judge talked to him on the phone. Wilbur told about a book that he found written by a man in Manhattan. What's going on? And so it's a good, it wasn't clear about the name of the book or the author. To find out for you what the report is about. Make an appointment to pick up tapes. And the woman tells me that you can pick up tapes from 10 to 7 p.m. We know it isn't true, right? We went there at 6:45 and nobody gets our tapes.
Alright. You are correct. You are on the bullseye. Alright, talk to you later. Take care. Bye-bye.
That was Wilbur.
Is it for today?
Change tape recorders here.
I'll put it on Saturday. Let me write these all down. Saturday is 9 to 4?
10 to 4.
Okay, 10 to 4 Saturday.
Monday through Friday, it's 10 to 7.
Monday through Friday,
Yes, 10 to 7.
10 to 7. Now, are you sure of that? Westchester on Monday.
During the weekend, so the weekdays, I'll make it.
I'm telling you. I drove.
I don't know if somebody's here on Monday. If they're not,
I was there at 6:45. I argued with, and I argued, listen to me please, and I argued with a woman about that for 15 minutes.